right, so the first Sunday of every month is a world that works for everyone. If you haven't been here most of this year, I am joining with my colleagues who are using this theme for pretty much the whole year. Some people are using it every single Sunday, thank you very much. I'm only using it for the first Sunday of each month. So a world that works for everyone. The thing I said the very first week that I've been repeating every single time, because it's really worth repeating. A world that works for everyone does not mean everybody gets their own way. Okay? That's really important because we're not talking about being a bunch of spoiled brats who say it has to be only my way. That's not what it means whatsoever. It's more about equal access. That's probably the bigger picture. So I just keep saying that every time, lest anybody might think, well, that's not working for me, and that's not working for me. We're not always going to get our own way. So today, we're talking about looking for the good and praising it. Exactly what Mary said. I thought I didn't need to do much of a talk now because she gave that. But what you did was a very personal thing, so I'll keep it going broader for us. We're going to start with these words. Spirit can do for us only what it can do through us. That is a really big component of this teaching. We do not espouse to the kind of a God who is doing something to us. Like somehow people say, oh, that's what God wanted to happen to me. That's not the kind of God that we teach here. God, Spirit, the one source, whatever word you like to call it, can only work in our lives as we allow it to move through us. Now the really good news is God's doing that already. Because we're here, we're talking, we're thinking, we're loving. So Spirit is already working through us. But as we are going to enrich our lives, we must now cooperate. And we must now allow it to happen in bigger, open, expansive ways. Spirit can only do for us what Spirit can do through us. And Spirit is always seeking to express, two words trying to come out at the same time, seeking to express through each one of us in an individual way. But too often what we do is we block that flow. And we block that flow by negative thoughts, by old beliefs, by not feeling that we're worthy or good enough. And here's one really big way we block it. By criticizing. We block the flow of good by our own critical behaviors. I'm going to keep expanding on this as we go, but just that in and of itself. If Spirit can only do for me what it can do through me, and I'm being critical, then what is Spirit doing through me? Something to think about. What we focus on, we get more of. We've heard this before. Many of you probably say, oh yeah. What I focus on, I get more of. It is a very simple yet profound truth that where our energy goes, we get more of it. If you want validation for that, next time we do the energy workshop with Mary Sampson, you make sure you come to it. Because she gives you all the scientific reasons why that's true. I'm going to tell you that there's a thing called the law of attraction and reciprocity. Same idea. What it's saying is that we have a vibrational nature to us. We are all energy. We have a vibrational nature. Whatever that vibrational nature is sets it up to pull it back to us. So whatever it is we're putting out, what I'm focusing on, I'm getting more of. It's just a very scientific vibrational fact that that's the way it's happening. Okay, so where we put our focus is going to be something that we get a whole lot more of. So what I'm looking for, I will find. You're looking for things to criticize. Well, that's really easy, isn't it? Right now, with our whole world, our whole culture in America moving towards a thing called an election, there's a whole lot to criticize. I'm not even going to talk politics, but you just fill in your own blanks. There's a lot of criticism. It's easy to find. And so if we want to look for that criticism, we will find it. And here's what happens. When we find what it is we're looking for, we also become it. Okay, all right. So let your mind fill in a few. All right, so I'm looking for things to criticize. I can find those things to criticize. The more I find those things, the more that's actually me becoming it. So it works also for the wonderful things too. The more we look for goodness, and the more we look for beauty, and the more we look for love, and the more we look for what's right, we find that. And the good news, we become that. So every time we purposely look for something good in a situation, we become that. When we look for something to love in a situation or a person, we become that. That's the wonderful side of it. So as we're looking, know that I'm going to find it. What do I want to do with my mind about that? So we're going to let that flow through us. We're going to focus on what it is we want to focus on because we know we're going to become it. Complaining, criticizing, and comparing only adds to the problem because we're putting that energy out there and we're being that complaining, criticizing, problematic kind of energy. On the flip side, as we uplift, as we praise, look for the good and praise it. As we praise, as we love, we're adding to that energy in the world. We're adding to that beauty. So we want to put our attention on that which we want more of. That means we've got to ask ourselves, what do I want more of? Now, I'm not telling you not to be human, because we are human. And so, using the political thing, the election coming up, every one of us has opinions about what's happening. We want to keep asking ourselves, what do I want more of? Do I want more of the negative? Do I want more of the separation? Do I want more of the anger? Or do I want more of the love, the beauty? And then when you go to the polling place, you also put that into practice. But let's keep it close to the vest. What you want more of, you must ask yourself, what do I want more of? And then catch yourself. Okay, so Mary's reading had us looking at things like wrinkles and dimples. That's a very personal thing. We can all look in the mirror and go, ugh, where did that wrinkle come from? Where did that mole come from? Where did that zit come from? I'm 56, why do I have a zit? Or we can say, wow, what pretty green eyes you have. Wow, your hair looks really nice today. Look at that smile on your face. What do I want more of? So we can take it on a very personal level, which is exactly where it starts. But we can take the same idea as we look at other people's faces. And do we go, wow, that person sure got a lot of wrinkles? Okay. Or do we say, what a beautiful smile she has? What do we want more of? What I know it from being a dance teacher, and there's many teachers in this room, the phrase, seeing the good tends to bring it forth, is very, very powerful. Seeing the good tends to bring it forth. So if my energy is going out and I'm looking for that good, it's pulling it right back. I watched a video recently, and it was really good. I'm just going to kind of give you the synopsis. This video was of a teacher who works with special needs kids. And they looked like they were maybe like 5th or 6th graders. A lot of times special needs kids are the brunt of other people's teasing, right? A lot of times you have their friends or even family members sometimes putting them down. There's some negativity that shows up. People in the world that are, you're just a dummy or stuff like that. This teacher decided that what he was going to do with each of his kids on a daily basis was bring them to him as he sat down on their level and started telling them all these wonderful things. You're capable. You're smart enough. I love having you as a student in my class. And he kept doing this with his kids. He kept doing it. He kept doing it. And some of them probably hearing it for the first time. You're smart enough? Wow, nobody's ever told me that. I like having you in my class rather than go sit in that corner and do your own work. It was a whole different paradigm. And he would spend time with each child, one by one, looking them in the face. You are capable. You are smart enough. I like having you. Day after day after day of hearing this, something shifted inside the kids and they started to believe it. And they did better in school. But what I really was struck with more in the video was not just that they did better, they seemed to be enjoying school. They were enjoying the learning process. And then the kids started feeding back to the teacher. You're a good teacher. You're a smart teacher. I like having you as a teacher. You guys are nodding over here because that's their world. And I thought, wow, that's exactly right. And I know with my dance students who are not special needs